My name is ADIBA FAZREEN binti NOOR AZAM and my metric number is 288646. I will present the executive summary and issue summary. The first section of this group project is the executive summary. The purpose of this group project was to discuss the issue associated with human rights in Malaysia. In the second section, we obtain information on human rights in Malaysia from online sources on the issue summary. The third section consists of a discussion of ethical issues relating to human rights in Malaysia, including child labour, the right to disconnect, and refugees' right to work. We also apply the ethical theories and concepts that relate to ethical issue. Some of the ethical theory that we apply are right-based ethical theory, utilitarian theory, and virtue ethics. In the next session, we conclude that human rights are a crucial issue not only in Malaysia but throughout the world. And the last session contains the ethical lessons that we learned from the issue of human rights in Malaysia. Next, I will continue with the issue summary. Human rights are the right that every individual has just because we exist as human beings. Everyone possesses this fundamental right irrespective of their nationality, place of residence, sex, race, color, religion, language, or any other characteristic. Malaysia is a multicultural country. It can lead to challenges in reconciling human rights with the interests of diverse racial and religious groups. Human rights in Malaysia are promoted and protected by the Human Rights Commission of Malaysia, SUHAKAM. SUHAKAM considers both the rights stated in the Malaysian Constitution and those protected by the Universal Declaration of Human Rights 1948 UDHR, unless there is a disagreement with the Constitution. The Internal Security Act (ISA) has violated basic human rights by restricting free speech and assembly. In 2011, the Malaysian government stated that it intended to evaluate other oppressive laws and remove the ISA. But the determination to enact the new legislation with perhaps extensive security requirement has sparked question about how fundamental liberties would be safeguarded. Other contentious issues have included the death sentence and how minorities such as LGBTQ community and migrant workers are treated.
My name is SYAFAWATI binti ROSLAN. My metric number is 288292. I'm going to explain about the discussion we have made together regarding child labour in human rights perspective. Child labour remains a pressing global issue that demands attention and actions, posing a formidable challenges to the principle of human rights. Child labour, also defined as an engagement of children in work that deprives them of their childhoods, interferes them with the ability to attend regular schools, and is mentally, physically, socially, and morally harmful. Child labour represents a blatant violation of fundamental human rights. We will dive into the ethical and human rights dimensions of child labour, emphasizing the urgent needs to address these pervasive issues. The violation of the right to education is a central concern in the context of child labour. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights (UDHR) affirms that everyone has the right to do education, yet child labour disrupts these fundamental rights by forcing children into work instead of school, perpetuating cycles of poverty and limiting future opportunities. There are two prominent ethical theories linked to child labour in human rights perspective. The first one is right-based ethical theories. A right-based ethical approach provides a robust framework for analysing and addressing child labour. These ethical theories emphasize the inherent dignity and entitlements of individuals, which is particularly relevant in the context of child labour, where the rights of children are often compromised. Right-based ethics place a strong emphasis on the protections of children's rights. The second one is utilitarianism theory. From a utilitarian perspective, the overall happiness and well-being of society may be compromised if the exploitation and mistreatment of children lead to the long-term negative consequences, such as less education and less healthy workforce. The utilitarian evaluations of child labour would involve assessing the balance between the economic gains and the human costs. Many modern societies and international organizations lean toward prohibiting child labour due to the recognition of the inherent harm where it can cause to the well-being of the children involved. In this sense, utilitarianism can be used to argue against child labour by emphasizing the negative impact on overall happiness and societal well-being.
Hi and good day Mr. Raju and my friends. I am NURUL KHAIRYNA with metric number 288415. We'll continue to discuss the right to disconnect. This right is a developing ethical concern that we need to draw boundaries between work and personal life, particularly in the age of digital technology and continual connectivity. Flexible working arrangements, FWA, are the missing components of the right to disconnect. Employees that have some flexibility in terms of where, when, and how they work are said to have FWA. According to utilitarian analysis, employees' time off can improve their general well-being, lower stress levels, and boost job happiness. This can eventually lead to higher levels of job satisfaction and productivity. The benefits of permitting or limiting employees' freedom to cease speaking about work outside of regular business hours in the context of utilitarianism are worker welfare, job satisfaction, and health benefits. Conversely, the possibility of decreased productivity and communication delays are drawbacks. Utilitarian perspective encourages the acknowledgement and application of the right to disconnect in the workplace because it places a higher priority on the overall positive effects on workers' lives, such as enhanced work-life balance, job satisfaction, and mental health. This viewpoint supports maximizing happiness as a whole and forms the basis for moral decision-making that takes the welfare of the workforce as a whole into account. Next, fostering virtue like empathy, compassion, and respect for personal time is considered virtuous behavior. Leaders who place a high value on these qualities support the development of a happy and healthy work environment by recognizing and valuing their staff members' need for downtime. The development of virtue-based character traits is emphasized by virtue ethics.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is BINTI IBRAHIM and my number is 286143. Next, I will continue the presentation. The issue of refugees' right to work is a complex one with no easy answer. It's crucial to weigh the potential benefits and drawbacks carefully while considering the specific circumstances of each country and refugee population. If they hire or allow refugees to work as a public sector in Malaysia, it may have pros and cons. Common ethical concepts that link human rights perspective to the right of refugees to work are: first, utilitarian theory. This theory focuses on maximizing overall happiness and well-being. Some argue that allowing refugees to work would benefit both themselves and the Malaysian economy. From a utilitarian perspective, analyzing the refugees' right to work issue involves carefully weighing the potential benefits and harms for both refugees and the whole society. Arguments for allowing refugees to work based on utilitarianism are: first, increased economic output. For example, the manufacturing sector. Other than that, arguments for allowing refugees to work based on utilitarianism are increased production and innovation. For example, for the technology and IT sector, however, it has challenges that need to be considered. For example, competition for jobs. There may be concerns that refugees will take jobs away from citizens. Other than that, social integration, addressing potential concerns from citizens and promoting opportunities for social interaction and cultural exchange. Next, virtue ethic. Virtue ethic focuses on developing good character traits like composition, justice, and fairness. Allowing refugees to work can be seen as promoting this virtue by fostering self-reliance, contributing to society, and overcoming prejudice. However, virtue ethic also have challenges that need to be faced. Argument for refugees' right to work from a virtue ethic perspective are developing virtues. For example, in refugee aspect, they have dignity and self-reliance. Work can be a powerful tool for refugees to reclaim their sense of agency and contribute to their own well-being. Next, it can promoting fairness and justice. For instance, the refugee side can reclaim agency and dignity. Granting refugees the right to work empowers them to participate actively in the economy, contribute to their families, and reclaim a sense of agency. This aligns with the ritual of justice, ensuring to everyone has the opportunity to pursue a dignified life. However, some issues that must be taken into account, chief among them being the lack of detail. Although it is difficult to provide concrete solution or recommendation for policy, ritual ethics offer general guidelines. It can be difficult to apply its idea in practical situations, such as refugees' work right and may need extra thought and waging conflicting values. Due to cultural relativism, different contexts and culture may have different ideas about what good character is. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is LEONG and metric number is 289528. Now I present about the conclusion. Human rights is a vital issue and should be implemented by every country around the world. Therefore, Malaysia has its human rights protection, which is Suhakam. From the previous discussion, we can conclude that child labor is not be encouraged as it will affect the quality of education and long-term economic growth of Malaysia. Although refugee labor will increase our output of work as a tradie, which is dirty, dangerous and difficult worker, but they will also commit some criminal cases. Then, work-life balance has been advocated to avoid the dead cases we happen all the time in the workplace. Moreover, some countries have shortened their working hours and concentrated as well as condensed their job in a certain period to decrease overtime. Of course, there also has disadvantage such as stress. In a nutshell, everything has double side effect, either good or bad. So, as long as the positive impact is greater than negative impact, we can try to practice it continuously. On the other hand, we must consider and overcome the minor negative impacts to prevent the bad consequences from occurring that will affect others, such as social problems. Okay, next is the ethical lesson learned. So first, for the refugee issue, most Rohingya Muslim that come to Malaysia and they are unable to work or enroll in government school. So this has caused the population increase, but the output of production keep constant as they do not contribute anything that helpful to the nations. Therefore, government have introduced a system called Tracking Refugee Information System (TRIS). All refugees should register their identity in that system, so they will come up an identity card. The card will allow the refugee to apply a special temporary work permit, so they can find income from that to prevent any illegal activities. And then our government also able to monitor them from that system and to minimize the social problem risk. The next one is the work-life balance. Once seeking the work-life balance, we should guarantee the job certifications, good and quality performance in the workplace. And then we should complete the job on time and we just can enjoy the personal life without burdens. The last one is children labor rights. Malaysia allows children who are 15 years old and above to be employed with a light workload but not heavy work. But they have some terms and conditions. The first one is employer cannot request or allow child labor to work more than 6 days in a week. The next is employer cannot require child labor to work from 8 p.m. to 7 a.m. Next is the child labor should have sufficient rest time, at least 30 minutes after working more than 3 consecutive hours. And then, child labor is disallowed to work more than 6 hours in a day. If the child is joining classes in school simultaneously, the total time spent cannot exceed 7 hours. Last but not least, child labor just will be allowed to start work after having 14 consecutive hours free time. So that's all from our group. Thank you. Bye bye.